Hey everybody, Ron Betta with Art of Fitness, and I'm here today to talk to you about the foam roller. We're going to be going over this in just a minute, but before we do, I just want to explain to you how the foam roller works and why we use it. Quite often we experience muscle tension, and we'll find that along the muscle you'll feel what is commonly called a knot. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to learn how to relax that knot so that the muscle lengthens. And when the muscle lengthens, you're going to find that you have less joint pain because the body starts to get back into better alignment. Now, some of this is somewhat technical. I'm going to try to keep it simple, but I do want you to understand the philosophy behind what we're doing and why we're doing it. There are different types of foam rollers on the market. This one that we have here is a high-density black foam roller, and they're really good. They're durable. They're strong enough that they help us foam roll, but they help us get the response we're looking for, but they're not so hard that they're going to damage the tendon or the muscle. There's a little bit of give, and that's what we're looking for. The same thing here with the Tiger Tail. Now, this Tiger Tail is the compact version. This one is good for travel. It's also good for runners, any kind of endurance athlete where there's a lot of tension in the legs, because you can roll it on the muscle. And again, there's a little bit of foam, so you're going to have that give. Again, being careful not to damage the tendon or the muscle. We want to take good care of it. Another kind that we have here is this foam roller that has a bit of some differences, a bit of change here in terms of bumps. There are ridges on here. We'll call them trigger points, but essentially it's kind of up to you to decide what you like and what you would want to try. The other benefit for this, and this is sort of unrelated to foam rolling, but it is a cool benefit, these have a hard inner shell, and a lot of clients when they travel, because we do have a lot of traveling clients that travel for business or for pleasure, they will put like shampoo or jewelry inside here when they're traveling because it is really hard and it won't give, so it protects objects like that. It's easy. You can obviously store more stuff, so you can pack it in your luggage and take it with you, so you have your foam roller with you wherever you go. But basically what we're going to be doing with this foam roller is finding spots on the muscle and helping to what some people would call break it down. That's not really what's happening. What we're really doing is we're exciting the tendon so that it finally exhausts and it allows the muscle to get long and lengthen. It's similar to a self-massage. So if you were to go, we have a massage here at the studio. If you were to get a massage from the massage therapist, they're going to be finding spots on the muscle that are tight, and they're going to help to relax those areas. The same thing is true here with the foam roller. The difference is you're doing this to yourself. We're finding muscles, we're using gravity, a little bit of pressure, and breath control to help relax the muscle and get rid of the knots. Now, there are a few things when it comes to exercise and to stretching that I think about when I'm exercising, and I hope this helps you. When I exercise, I like to bring the muscle to the point where it's exhausted and push it just a little bit further. So in the case of an endurance exercise, if I were out jogging, I would jog until I was just exhausted or close to it. Then I'd stop, walk. When I build up enough energy, I'm going to start running again. And the reason I'm going to do this, or jogging, the reason I'm going to do it this way is because I want to bring the muscles, my body, to the point where it realizes it has to adapt. And that's very important. A lot of people think that there's a specific number they have to do, 15 reps or 20 reps or 8 reps, however many they're doing, and then they stop at that number. What we're really looking to do is exhaust the muscle. So whenever I set up a client on 15 reps, for example, I'm trying to give them a weight that will exhaust them during reps 13, 14, and 15. So I want their muscle to be fatigued. Now, the nice thing about having a number like a set number on repetitions is that you have a metric, you have something you can measure by. But the most important thing is to exhaust the muscle. So that's important. So when I'm exercising, I like to exhaust the muscle, allow the muscle to recover for a minute or two, and then exhaust the muscle again, because the muscle again is going to learn how to adapt. It's going to realize that, hey, I'm being stressed every couple of days. He runs a certain distance, and once I stop, he gives me a break, but then he runs again or he jogs again, and I have to learn to get stronger so that I can continue to run the whole distance. So that's how my body is. That's how I think about it when it comes to exercise. When it comes to stretching, I like to stretch the muscle to the point where I feel a little bit of tension, but then mentally I like to relax that muscle. So I want to think about it. This is a mindful technique, not unlike meditation or like yoga. where people get into positions and they're stretching and lengthening the muscle. That's what I want to do when it comes to stretching and foam rolling. So with foam rolling, I like to get the muscle to where I feel the tension, but it's not overwhelming. It's not causing my muscle to contract. So if you're using the foam roller, you want to put this in spots where it does hurt. You're going to feel a little bit of tenderness or a little soreness, but you want to put it just enough pressure on there that you can relax through it, and that the muscle does realize that it can lengthen, it can relax. If you put too much pressure on there, you're just going to make matters worse. You're going to tense up around that muscle. It's going to hurt. You're not going to get a benefit. Nobody wants to be in pain like this. It's not waterboarding. This is supposed to be pretty relaxing. It's supposed to help your muscle extend and lengthen again, and so that's going to help improve your body overall. So just keep those things in mind as you're going through this. We're going to start with the lower body, and we're going to work our way up. The only other thing I would say is that when we get to the spine, it's very important that we take really good care of the back. A lot of people use this. I've seen this used in ways that maybe aren't necessarily the worst, but they're definitely not the best. I'm going to show you some techniques. So when it comes to the back, we're going to pay extra careful attention there to make sure that we do this correctly. Everything else, for the most part, it's stable. I'll show you some techniques you can use. We'll probably stay away from joints as we go through this. We want to focus on muscles, and we want to allow the joints to enjoy the benefit of the exercise, of the stretching. And that's going to happen most when we move through the muscle, find a point that's sore, let the foam roller stay on that spot for a few seconds, until you feel the majority of the pain dissipate. When you don't feel that tenderness, then you're going to roll to the next spot, find the next spot that's tender, let that one relax, move to the next spot. And you'll see that these places along the muscle will move. We'll get into that too, but overall, this is going to be a practice that you're going to want to use quite frequently, especially if you have chronic pain at the beginning. If you have a lot of chronic issues, it's going to take time. Your body has to train through this. So take your time with the foam roller. I'm probably going to break these videos up into a few different parts, but we'll start with the lower body and then we'll work our way up. So we'll see you soon.